Welcome back to the stage, Maria Pope.
Welcome back. The food that you are enjoying was thoughtfully prepared as part of an expansive agriculture and culinary effort across Oregon. To tell us more about it, please welcome the mastermind behind Food Forward, Mike Thelin.
Afternoon. I hope you enjoyed lunch today. We had Painted Hills beef plus a whole lot of other great things from all over the state. But we're not here to talk about lunch today. We're here to talk about right now being a moment of extraordinary possibility. A moment right now where all of us in this room at this time in Oregon, we have the honor to decide what we become next. Because when you step back and you rise above the political banter and the process and the churn of headlines, something becomes extraordinarily clear. And it's this: we have every raw material in this state to become a world leader in food, beverage, and culinary innovation, and to stand alongside the best regions on the planet. And I'm not saying that from theory. I'm saying it not only have I visited a lot of these regions, but more importantly, I've been all over our state, on ranches in Eastern Oregon, and diners in Pendleton, vineyards in Milton Freewater, Jacksonville, labs in Corvallis, and at the Food Innovation Center right here in Portland, Oregon. I've been in boardrooms, tasting rooms, fields, kitchens. I've listened to CEOs, chefs, growers, makers, tourism leaders who are already in this, building our future. And everywhere I go, it becomes more and more clear. Oregon is one of the few places on earth that truly sits at the confluence and crossroads of climate resilience, food innovation, culture, creativity, great agriculture, research, and global curiosity. Few places on earth have this combination, and even fewer recognize it in time to harness them. But right now, we have to. We can and we must harness this. Food Forward's not a program. Yeah, thank you. Food Forward's not a program. We're not a campaign. It's not the fun slogan for the year. What we're trying to create and what we will create is a blueprint for our future identity, a way of seeing ourselves, a way of telling our story, a way of building prosperity for everyone who calls Oregon home and who will feel inspired to call Oregon home in the future. Here's the truth. In a world where technology is narrowing the gap between global competitors, identity and experience are becoming the most strong differentiators, and our world is organizing itself around the regions that know who they are. The places that thrive are and will be the ones that build their identities and their economies around what they do well, around their strengths. With food in Basque Country, Copenhagen, Rhone Valley, Emilia-Romagna, Oaxaca, Singapore, Kyoto, Quebec, you're starting to see a pattern. Food is no longer just sustenance. It's economic strategy. It's cultural power. Food is global identity. Food is a beacon to those who visit. Food is pride of place to the communities who live here. Food is how a place claims its position in the world and differentiates itself. And when you stand back, whether we've all fully realized this or not, we've been quietly building a blueprint with all the ingredients for global food and beverage leadership for the last several decades. We just haven't connected the dots yet. We have one of the strongest agricultural systems. We grow, catch, harvest, and create truly extraordinary things. We all know this. We have world-class food and beverage research institutions. Shout out to Oregon State University, whose expertise is as aligned with what the world wants and needs today than any agricultural program on the continent. That is a fact. Long before any place called Oregon existed, communities in this land and this place held a deep reverence and an enduring reverence for food and bounty, a reverence still stewarded and celebrated by indigenous communities who have been here for thousands of years. Oregon is home to producers, makers, farmers, chefs, innovators whose work already traverses the entire globe. We have created world-class culinary experiences and world-class food and beverage companies that again and again define product categories. At the entrepreneurial level, we are home to a culture of creativity that refuses to play it safe. So here's the question. What would it look like if we could harness that unique culture of creativity and just roll it out at the grandest scale? The question before us is not whether Oregon can lead. The question is, will Oregon lead? It's whether we can see ourselves clearly enough to act boldly. And that's what this Food Forward and so many of these other things we're talking about today are about. About clarity, about alignment, coherence, identity, momentum. We already have extraordinary partners in this work. Travel Oregon's been an incredible collaborator and benefactor since the beginning of our efforts, and frankly, an innovator in culinary tourism for decades. We're also working with state and city agencies, business leaders, researchers, producers, cultural builders, educators, chefs. But this is bigger than any institution. This is bigger than any sector. This is bigger than any single initiative. This is Oregon deciding what we will be for the next 50 years. This is Oregon owning its story and taking back the control of our narrative. This is Oregon choosing direction and picking winners and winning strategies. This is Oregon growing up. When we connect our ecosystems, our agriculture, our tourism, our innovation, our research, our culinary arts, our economic development, we stop acting like separate industries and start behaving like a region with a purpose. And regions with purpose, they change everything. They attract talent. They attract capital, they attract imagination, they foster pride, they create belonging, and they seed a culture that creates generational opportunities in perpetuity. We're not here to celebrate what we've done, we're here to commit to what comes next. Because the future is not waiting, the world is not waiting, and I think we all agree, Oregon is too extraordinary, too rare, too gifted, too full of possibility and bounty to let this moment pass or become siloed and stymied by a metastatic culture that prioritizes process at the expense of innovation and outcome. And we've allowed this to become our reality, but we don't have to stay here. So here's the invitation, here's the challenge, here's the call. Let's stop thinking of food and beverage as an industry and start behaving as if it is a movement that connects chefs in Ashland with farmers in Hermiston, scientists in Corvallis with storytellers in LeGrand, entrepreneurs in Bend with educators in Klamath Falls and Eugene, policy leaders in Salem with cultural leaders in Portland, people in every corner of Oregon whose work, when brought together, becomes so palpable, so powerful, so inspiring, and so enduring that the world can no longer ignore it. And now's our moment to claim our identity, the moment to build something that's lasting. Now's our moment to step into a leadership role, which we've been quietly preparing for decades. And that's what we aim to do. Oregon is ready, our communities are ready, our industries are ready, the world is ready. Food Forward is not the end of something. Now is the beginning of us stepping into our full power and our fullest potential. Thanks.